This is an iHeart podcast.
Hey, it's the Meat Eater Buy a Tee, Get a Tee sale. Plus, you can save on all kinds of gear from August 19th to 24th. For a limited time, buy one Meat Eater graphic tee, get another one free. While you're over there, you can load up and save on gear we trust in the field, including Yeti coolers and drinkware, Moultrie trail cams, premium optics, knives from Montana Knife Company, and more. The season opener sale runs now through August 24th, only at store.themeateater.com.
So I co-founded Under Armour. People could say that was a big success. I've been involved with some other things that you could say was success. I have never felt successful, ever. Once, until about 2 weeks ago. Sitting in Alaska, overlooking the mountains, looking at my team move a bunch of hunters in and out. We just had a bear hunter come in. It's a really cool outfit. It's close to my heart. It's where I want to be. It's outdoors at its best. And I was like, man, Kip, you've done something with your life. First time ever I've said that to myself in my brain. Why all that time have I never felt successful? Is because I think when you put yourself in an environment that's closest to who you want to be, it unlocks things that you otherwise. I'm not corporate. I don't like cities. I don't want to run a rat race. I'm pretty smart, but I don't need to like prove my smarts in business anymore. But I felt like for many, many years I had to. And I think it just unlocked something that I had never felt before.
Out here, the stakes are real. Effective preparation starts with fitness, but it requires so much more. This show explores the tools, knowledge, resilience, and skills needed to be ready when it matters the most. Join me, Rich Froning, as we apply the decades of wisdom I've gained through training and competition to hunting in the backcountry. This is In Pursuit. Brought to you by Mayhem Hunt. In Pursuit podcast. Rich Froning here. We got Josh Bird Bergeron, Kip Fulks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Appreciate you coming out, dude. This is an honor. I don't
know about that.
No, dude, it is. Heck yeah, man. I mean, geeking out a little bit, I remember my first Under Armour shirt, when I was, I think, I would have been in middle school. It was the coolest thing ever. It was a red, just, compression top, super tight. I was 13 years old, I think. Got it on baseball. My mom had a rule.
Buy it on Eastman's?
Hibbett Sports.
Hibbett Sports, okay.
My mom had a rule that you couldn't buy anything name brand, or she would never buy me anything name brand. I had to buy it myself. So that was like one of my first name brand. So, man, it's pretty cool to...
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we'll let you kind of tell your story of like, most guys and girls listening to this are going to know who you are. But for those who don't know, where'd you get your start? Where'd you grow up? Those types of things.
It's kind of, a simple story. I was a military brat, moved around a bunch. My dad's a Vietnam vet. I was born in Utah, lived in places like Hawaii, Maine, Rhode Island, Virginia. We bounced around, even lived in Bermuda for 3.5 years. Somehow I fell in love with lacrosse, and then I went to Essex Community College outside of Baltimore.
Okay.
And then I transferred into Maryland as a walk-on. I played lacrosse at Maryland, and I met my partner, Kevin Plank, at Maryland. And he was just starting this idea of this tight-fitting compression shirt, which he had a bunch of studies that wearing a tight-fitting shirt actually helped athletes. And at the time, there was a cotton shirt and nothing else.
That was it.
And we worked out of his grandmother's basement for 4 or 5 years. Then we moved to Baltimore, and 21 years later and $5 billion, we had a nice run.
Heck yeah.
And we made a lot of great product. We like making stuff for athletes. Our motto back in the day was made by athletes for athletes. Now, as you get older, we're not the athlete anymore. But
we're still an athlete. Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy to look back at it. I don't talk about it a lot, but what a run.
Man.
And guys like you buying it for the first time. We kind of started in football and lacrosse and hockey, but quickly baseball and a bunch of other sports. And for a long time, it was just a tight fitting shirt. I mean, we made a ton of them.
And man, it was just that brand, like for a long time, there was such, that was what you wore underneath your uniform, underneath your jersey, and you just wanted that.
It was kind of funny. You look back now, and there's so much performance apparel. You could go to Target, Walmart. You could go to Hibbett's. You could go online. You could buy training tops, moisture management. But back then,
that was it.
That was it. It was either cotton or us.
That was it.
And you had to protect your house.
And protect
this house.
I cannot take any credit for that that tagline. But I tell you what, man,
it sold, dude.
That worked.
I mean, it was. You're talking about, we've talked a couple things, but branding, man, that was it at the time. Like, it spoke to, I think, the younger generations, the kids, and the athlete, right? And so you've built a bunch of other things on branding. And so, was that your kind of influential piece to Under Armour?
Yeah, it's funny I ran operations for many years, so I made all the product. Mm-hmm. I designed, developed, I had our innovation team. Later in my career, I kind of got really good at operations, and I was asked to become the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer. Mm-hmm. And I kind of took that same approach of like measure, develop, goal setting, but I took it to branding.
That's cool.
And it's like branding is nothing more than a bunch of tactics, and then you measure the tactics to see if they're working. And so actually later in my career, I kind of got really heavily involved in the branding and marketing. I would say my partner, Kevin, he ran that for many, many years, and that was his thing. I was the guy making sure we had inventory.
Which is a hell of a job.
Someone's always yelling at you.
Yeah, I bet. Or you're yelling at somebody else.
Yeah, a supplier usually.
Yeah, heck yeah.
At what stage did y'all start developing the hunting line?
Yeah, so that was an interesting story. I've told this a few times, but not a lot of people know this. I quit. I came in one day, super frustrated, traveling all over the world, making T-shirts. I was like, I can't do it anymore. I'm running ragged. I don't like what I do. And I said, I want my own division or I'm going to leave. And Kevin kind of looked at me and thoughtfully was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, I want sales, I want marketing, I want product, I want design, and I want to call it the Outdoor Group. And that was like 2002. And we started the Outdoor Group, and we took it to 300 plus million. And it was like this little incubation of cool product within Under Armour. We were growing faster. We had better margin. We were killing it. And then I kind of handed it over to some other folks. And then I went and did some other big company stuff. But, when we started Under Armour Outdoors, there was basically a bunch of cotton product at Walmart.
Everything was real tree.
Yeah, like basic stuff. And so we started the Ridge Reaper line. We started like soft shell, waterproof, breathable. And we took what we saw going on in mountaineering and we pulled it into hunting. And since then, some companies like Sitkey, QU, First Light have done amazing things, but I kind of snicker.
You started it.
I was like, hey, you guys didn't invent that.
I bought Under Armour stock. Don't have it anymore because of the hunting line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
hope you sold it at the right time.
I did sell.
But I remember I had a couple Under Armour, like I got into waterfowl pretty heavily for a while, and you guys were big into that.
It was the best, yeah. So awesome. I was like, this stuff's going to take off. So
do you remember what product you had?
My first whitetail kit I bought, it was like a fleece inside. It wasn't
green logo, orange logo.
Orange logo.
Yeah, orange logo.
Yeah,
that's great.
It started with an A. It's like Ashton or something like that. I remember.
Yeah.
Scott wore
Ashton fleece, baby.
Scott wore a pair of my hand-me-down. They were whitetail pants in the mountains, and they did not end well for him. They were way too hot.
Yeah. They're made for sitting in the stand.
Made for sitting in the stand. They were not made for mountaineering.
Yeah, Western hunting and kind of Eastern whitetail hunting.
Oh yeah, two
products,
different,
totally different,
way different products. Yeah. Well, cool, heck yeah. So what are you doing now?
It's funny. It's like you look at this weird career. I've kind of like stepped away from footwear and apparel, and I started my own beer brand with Big Truck. That's been a blast, but I didn't know anything about it, so it's been a little bit of a learning curve, you know. Distribution and sales, and it's a two-step distribution. You sell to a distributor, and then they sell to a retailer, and then the retailer sells to the customer. Ooh. That's a difficult business model. So that's been a lot of headaches and a bit fun. And we have a brewery in Maryland, and we're in about 6 states. And then I bought an outfitter in Alaska called Bushwhack, and that's been a blast. I'm in my second season. I'll be getting my guide's license next year.
Heck yeah.
So you're welcome to come anytime. And then I sit on a couple boards. I sit on a board for Montana Knife Company with Jocko Fuel, and I'm business partners with Pete and Jocko on Origin. So nice. I like a lot of I like a lot of stuff. Fire, so everybody's like, wow, what are you doing today? And I like it because every day is different. And, you know, a lot of it's the same consumer, though. Mm-hmm. If you look back at what I'm working on, it's like kind of this masculine, outdoor,
same group,
fit consumer who likes to get after it. It's just different products for different occasions.
Heck yeah. All right, so let's talk about the outfitting. Obviously, this mainly hunting. So, you know, something we talked about.
You're buying a moose hunt, right?
Yeah, moose hunt.
$40K. You're signing a check
Deal.
today.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Sign it over. So something you said this morning, and I didn't know this. Brown bear and grizzly bear are the same thing, but there's like a dividing line. That's
yeah, I learned that a few years back too. That's kind of our go-to is bear and moose.
Yep.
We do some other things like fishing and things, but we really focus on it. And there's like an arbitrary line that scientists draw. It's called 100 miles from the coast.
Yeah.
If it's past that, it's a grizzly. If it's inland, it's a brown bear. Huh. And they do have different diet. Really? You know, you can have a mountain grizzly who's picking berries and chasing caribou. And then you got a brown bear who maybe he's eating fish and chewing on a whale carcass. So they can get much different sizes. And so the brown bear on the peninsula of Alaska are famous, and Kodiak, for the biggest bears in the world.
Biggest bears, okay.
And we've seen some dandies. And the grizzlies get good size too. But I would say the brown bears, when you see a big brown bear up close, it's significantly a different animal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking this morning, and I said there used to be two things on this planet that I was afraid of, and that was being buried alive and sharks. I swam with sharks, and I was fine, but then we watched a video of a grizzly bear, grizzly or brown bear, I'm not sure actually, because I'm not sure if it was 100 miles in or not, being re-released into the wild. I think you've seen that. You were talking about
it looked like a grizz. Too. It looked like a grizz.
The way, how fast that thing is, and how just...
So, okay, I use this as a kind of description or an analogy. Black bears climb. Even a big black bear can climb. Grizzlies can climb. A lot of times they'll push things over. They can climb if they need to. But think of like that big fat friend you have. Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't hit the gym as much as maybe he's 250, maybe he's 300, maybe he's 350.
Okay.
That's a big dude.
Big dude.
Can he climb straight up a tree in 3 seconds? No. When you see the power in which they move, it's mind-boggling. But then the endurance they display. So if they want to chase a moose for 4 or 5 miles,
they'll do it.
So I've never seen a combination of power and endurance, and because that's talk CrossFit in your wheelhouse. It's like that magic balance. Too much power, not enough endurance. I would say that the brown bear grizzly in Mother Nature has got to be one of the most impressive. Even when you look at some of the Western animals like elk and antelope, and they get tired getting chased by a grizz.
Yeah. Run them down. I mean, you see all those videos all the time where a grizzly doesn't catch a. I saw one the other day where they were manhandling a bison.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
It was a bull.
Like pulling it over.
It was just pulling it over, which is.
What is that,
2,000 pounds? Probably in the wild, 2,000 to 2,500 pounds. And it was just manhandling this thing. So we see them, out here in the yard to know how big we have 2 herd bulls, Teddy and Custer. And those things are super athletic, super powerful, and this grizzly is just like manhandling.
Yeah, I think the jaw, whatever that closure strength, that pounds per square inch, I mean, it's almost 1,000 pounds of pressure.
So forget that 100 men versus a gorilla, 100 men versus a grizzly.
Or how about just the grizzly and the gorilla? Because that'd be really interesting. I think when you start getting in close and you observe them, they lose a little bit of the mystique. They're pretty docile animals. Really? They don't want to mess with you.
Yeah.
They smell you. They're kind of out of here.
Okay.
Usually it's a wounded bear or a bear with
cubs.
And or you come around a corner, and maybe like if you're hunting out west in Wyoming or Montana and they're on a carcass, they can be a little defensive. We had a couple guides get bluff charged by a bear who had taken one of our moose carcasses, and we had come back and we didn't know he was on there. And the first instinct of the bear is like, hey, that's mine, get out of here. Not really trying to hurt you, But, you know,
They
when
will.
you're two guys coming around a corner and you got a bear charging at you full speed. So have you seen Cam's movie?
Oh yeah, where he goes in after
Yeah.
that thing?
So that
the
ended
guy
up being
shoots it?
my brother shooting it at,
really?
at 3 yards.
Okay.
And she had no life in her.
No.
And she closed the distance between us in a second.
Gosh.
And she was pretty bad off. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine if she was full tilt.
Man.
So it's fun.
Yeah, heck
I'm
yeah.
a little addicted to it.
Yeah.
I like being out in the wilderness. You add the element of the bears, but
Yeah.
honestly, our trophy hunt is a moose.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah. All
crazy.
guys want. So like, if somebody walk us through the process, somebody shows up. Like usually it could be a day, could be 3 days to get to you guys, and then you show up and
It's usually a 10-day hunt.
Yep.
It most likely doesn't go that long, but that's what we need. You got a day and a half on both ends for hunting. You usually book it a year or two in advance. So guys, this is not like, hey, I'm going to do this next week. Guys kind of plan it
yeah.
out. They're thinking about which animals they want to get. They say, hey, I need to go to Alaska. I would say you fly into Iliamna, then we get you on a bush plane, and then everything is weather dependent.
yeah.
So we can get you out when the weather's good. We can get you in when the weather's good. Once you're there, you're there.
You're there.
And I think a lot of people they're not ready for that mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And either some people are great with it. They don't care. They think, hey, I'm
here.
I'm here. I'm
here.
unplugged.
Yep.
And then you got that guy who is 3 days into it and they struggle. And so a lot of our job is interviewing clients
To make sure.
ahead of time to understand what we're getting into. Some guys want to leave early. Some guys will fake being sick. Yeah, we've seen it all, man. Some guys, we have monster moose a mile up the ridge and they're like, I'm tired. I want to hike. I'm like, dude, you paid a lot of money for this. You can't dig deep.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit of everything. Now
Yeah.
we get some guys that are hardcore and they go out there and they smash it. One of our best hunts though is our DIY moose hunt.
Okay.
Guys are on their own.
Yeah.
We drop them off.
See ya.
We come back 10 days later and you see these big grins
Oh yeah.
when
heck
they
yeah, you find
harvest
some-
something.
Yeah.
We had a father-son from West Virginia. They had never been to Alaska before. They slammed a monster moose.
It's awesome.
And they said they were miserable, but they loved it.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
secondhand enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
And when you're in it, it sucks.
Alaska it's something to be seen, and invited your team, come out when you're ready. It's a blast.
We'd love to. Yeah, the hard part with me is the younger kids in that age, but man, there'd be something special. Well, the hard part for us when we get into the hunting situation, like a lot of guys midday kind of rest up and lay down. We want to just keep, probably screw it up most of the time,
Yeah,
slow hunting, but it's just so hard just
You
to
got to
disconnect,
sit a little
right?
bit, and sometimes you
Yeah.
can't move, especially with moose and bear. If you go busting through, you're just putting your scent everywhere.
We've learned that over the years. When we
Yeah,
first
I
started
have
elk
too.
hunting, we're like, oh, if they're resting, we need to be finding them, right? And we actually had a couple opportunities on some bedded bulls, and if we could have been a little bit quicker on the draw, it would have been all right. But yeah, more times than not, we're messing it up.
What's funny is I used to think I was like this amazing spot and stock guy, and I've tried many, many times. I've only shot one bull in his bed, and I've probably tried it
Probably
100
walked past
times.
a million or spooked a million.
Yeah, I think you can get in. I do like Western hunting, even Alaska, but like mule deer and elk, you can't replace it. You can't replace it. I mean, I love to whitetail hunt with my kids,
Right.
but I don't know. There's just something about, you haven't been mule deer hunting.
I've
yet.
not true mule deer hunting. We've had a mule deer tag when we were elk hunting.
Yeah,
but
kind of
never-
opportunistic.
Yeah, but never. Elk is always
Yeah,
the
you
primary
get a kick
goal.
out of that. They're fun animals to stalk.
I've heard great things. I just, man, we've been so, my history is I started out, I was in an outdoors family, but my dad was super impatient and all we had around here was whitetail. So he's not going to go sit in a stand and take his impatient son to go sit in a stand. And so I had a buddy probably 15 years ago. His dad was like, you should try turkey hunting.
Oh yeah,
And dude,
I've seen some of your posts.
I was full in. And so then from there, elk is just a giant turkey. And so
It is.
now it's been an obsession.
You just made a lot of people mad.
Oh yeah, don't tell Cam
I
that.
know.
Cam will get irritated.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not the same. Now that I've elk hunted, I come back to turkey and I'm like, oh, that was fun, but it's not the same.
I think there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Though,
Yeah.
The auditory, being able to hear the animal,
100%.
which is like a little bit of like a sitting in the stand quiet.
You can be offensive versus, and
exactly.
I don't want to offend the whitetail hunters, but I feel like once you've made your plan as a whitetail hunter, you're stuck. You're stuck in that tree.
Yeah, there's strategy if you're doing like 100%. Food plots and the wind direction, but like really getting out and moving your feet. I've shot a few whitetail from the ground and it's a blast, but it's hard, man. It's like
really
you
hard.
need to. I don't have the patience. I give guys a lot of credit sitting in the stand for 12 hours. That's hard.
Man, we did it in Illinois this year. I think we counted it up over 5 or 6 days. We were in the stand for 40 hours, and I mean.
That's tough.
I was losing my mind. We didn't see anything. That was the even harder part. When we went to Oklahoma with Clay Newcomb, me and Scott were like saddled in the same tree. So we were just, hanging out all day. So it
were you in one
bad.
of the saddles?
Yeah, we were both saddled.
I've never used one of those. Dude, is that pretty comfy?
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can go on any tree you want. You can, there's some guys that they don't like the saddles, but I like the fact that you can move around and get, you see a deer in his pattern and you miss the pattern, and maybe that evening you can go to a different tree. But if you're in a tree stand, you're kind of stuck in that one spot.
A little bit more mobile.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, like, as you've gotten into it, and obviously the podcast relative to hunting is like, because this is interesting, right? I go to a lot of the trade shows. I've been in the industry a long time, and I see parts of the hunting industry, and some of it is amazing. Some of it gets a little bit, too many trophy hunters trying to fake pictures and act like they're hardcore, but they're not. Have you gotten into like you're trying to like fill all your North American animals? Have you thought about like sheep hunting? Have you gotten into all these different aspects, or are you really just kind of focusing in on a few things that you love?
Dude.
Because there's so much pressure on these, like, oh, you're not a big game hunter if you haven't done your North America 28, 26, 30, 18. I don't even know. I'm not that into it. But, as you've gotten into the industry, has that been a thought?
Bird can speak to it. I'm more of a I'm going to shoot anything that I see. They'll have to talk me down off of stuff because I just like to hunt, man. I enjoy the meat side of it. I enjoy the pursuit side of it. Scott will be like, hey, let's not shoot something on the first day. If it's not at least, like elk wise, they're like, if we're in a good unit, like it's got to be at least be a 6x6 or something. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I can, like these guys, man, I just like being out there. I love hunting.
But anything that is like in the back of your head, like, wow, if I could do that one day, that is legit.
I think, I'm really into the style of elk hunting right now. I love elk hunting. A moose is huge. I want to go up to Alaska. The hard part we talked earlier is the kids and how long it would take for a trip like that. Sheep sounds awesome because it's just hard to get to. And, I enjoy the challenge. But I don't have any of these like, oh, I got to have I don't even know what the hell a 300-inch bull looks like in the wild, like I have
you'll know once you shoot one.
Right. I have I don't even know if mine, it's a probably mid 250s. 5x5 is the first one I ever shot. It was on huge compared to a whitetail. Dude, I freaking loved it. Every time I walked by that mount, I remember the stories of us hanging out and how long it took and how hard it was. Man, I just enjoy being out there.
I think it's healthy, right? Because you have a huge voice in the fitness industry, and as you're coming in and really putting a stake into the kind of outdoor and hunting, I think it's good to have kind of just like a fun, let's go after it. Because I will say I struggle with parts of the hunting industry where they put all these labels on what did it score,
right? How
big is it? And one of the reasons why I bought the Outfitter is I actually enjoy taking people out to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great if you shoot a monster, and we shot some great bears, and I was super excited this past season. But also we had some guys that had never been to Alaska. They never shot bears before, and they shot like average bears, nothing big. And these guys
fired up.
And it's so funny. I had some guys that are like, dude, he's monstrous. And I'm sitting in the back of my head, I'm like, hey, dude, he's kind of a small bear. And the guy's like, but that's what it means to him. And I didn't say a word. I didn't say, hey, that's only a 7-footer or that's an 8-footer. I didn't say a word. I just sat there and smiled. Like, this guy really, he's like, I shot a monster bear. And I'm sitting there going,
that's what it's
yes,
about.
you did.
That's what it's about.
No, you didn't.
No,
but yes, you did. Because that's all that really matters.
Matters.
I think it's good to have personalities come into the space and kind of lighten the load a little, because I've been a part of it for a while, man. It's like, there's a little bit of underbelly,
right? Yeah.
Underbelly of the hunt space.
Hunting season is coming fast. You've glassed the ridges, hung stands, and marked your maps. Now it's time to make sure your gear is as ready as you are. From proven base layers to best-selling outerwear, First Light season opener sale is here for a limited time with savings up to 40% off. It's our biggest sale of the year. So whether you're chasing bugles in the high country or settling into a stand for opening night, now's the time to dial in your system. No shortcuts, no compromises, just the gear that gets it done. Shop the season opener sale at firstlight.com. That's FIRSTLITE.com.
Man, so we did 2 archery hunts. We got 2 archery bulls this year, and then we went to our lease 3rd rifle season. And I had a bull tag. I didn't even kill it, but my best friend, he's killed a couple bulls. And we get to this bull, and it's the first time I've ever been like, all right, I'm gonna let somebody else have the shot.
Yeah.
And me and Scott got there first.
Had to hyperventilate a little bit.
He's hyperventilating. He's like, he walks up and I'm like, do you want the stand? And he's like, wait, what? Like, he was shocked that I was going to give him the shot. I'm like, do you want the tripod? He's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then I'm trying to talk to him. He's like, I can't hear you. My heart's beating in my ears. And like, because we huffed it to get to this thing.
Uh-huh.
We got to it first. Granted, he'd seen it the day before. We think it was the same bull.
He made a good shot.
He made a good shot and we got him. And, man, it was like, hell yeah, that was cool. That, you're just part of it, right?
Yeah, right. Sharing is caring. But like when it comes to outdoor pursuits, man, I've done a bunch of it by myself. It never is the same when you do it.
It's way more fun with a team, man.
Yeah, I've done some backcountry stuff when I was all by myself, and I was like miserable, and I didn't even appreciate it. I was like, yeah, because I wasn't suffering with anybody.
No, you need somebody to suffer with. Man, that's so true. Because usually Scott's with me or Bird's been with us on a couple, and it's just so much more fun. Because I look at it, like he'll say, "Oh, you killed." I'm like, "We killed," because we did it together. It's
especially big game.
Big game, you got to pack it out, or you're like coming up with a plan. Like me and Scott work well together because we've kind of grown and we've learned from the same guides or the same people that we're like, "Oh, we need to go over here. We need to do this." We fight, like whatever. I'll be like, "Oh, you're a dumbass. We're not doing that," or he'll, "Well, I think we should do this," and so it just makes it fun.
You can appreciate this. I've told this story a couple times, but not too many people, and never on a podcast, but. Cam real well. I started hunting with Cam. He had done some kind of hardcore hunting that he wanted to invite me to. So he invited me to this spot in Wyoming, and his best friend, Roy, who he grew up with, who's since passed away, who's a savage, was on that same hunt. And my dad comes into town. We go to Wyoming, small town. We're going to hike up into this pass at 12,000 feet, and we're going to do some backcountry hunting with Cam. We're in the local grocery store and we're kind of getting all of our like stuff together, last minute supplies. And we see this guy kind of pushing a cart. He's a big guy, wearing some sweats. He's got like an Alaskan t-shirt on. He's throwing like Gatorade, peanut butter, Snickers, Twinkie bars, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't think anything of it. And then we get to the trailhead and we see that same guy getting out of his car, shoving all that stuff in his backpack. And we walk up to him. We're like, "Are you Roy?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Roy." And we start to hit it off. He's like, "I'm going over here. You guys are going to meet Cam over there. I'll meet up with you in a couple days." We're like, "Great, take off." 2 days later, he shows up in camp. He's got shorts on. I'm wearing everything I own. We're eating freeze-dried meals. He's having peanut butter and Gatorades. Twinkies. Doesn't even care. Wearing no camouflage. Killed a bull. Packed it out himself, and then came over to help us. I have never felt so inferior as an outdoorsman. And I was like, yeah, Kip, you need to toughen up a little bit. But that was like my first kind of experience with Cam's style of hunting. And it was funny because my dad and I had to leave, and we left some meals for Cam and Roy because they ran out of food for 2.5 days. And they fought like over a Snickers bar. So, like you can bond over that stuff. And then, that was like my one story with Roy that always sticks out. Like
just some savage.
Yeah, that and everything you think you need.
Yeah.
You don't quite need.
Right.
And I think as you be a better outdoorsman and you become more skillful, you actually bring less.
Makes sense.
I brought a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
Thinking I need every situation to get covered for. And as I gotten better, I find that I've gotten less and less and less, and you get more.
What would be some of those things that you used to bring compared to now?
Man, I don't change clothes. Like I do not bring any extra
We
clothes.
don't do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I just live in the same
Layers,
clothes.
maybe,
like,
if you need 'em.
yeah, maybe an extra puffy here and there. You know, make sure you got your good rain jacket, an emergency blanket, and a lot less food.
Mm-hmm.
I can go on so much less food than when I'm still hungry. I just dig deeper, and I don't want to carry the weight. And I think if I don't have the food,
It's not there.
it's not in my head to stop and eat.
Yep.
And I'll kind of like think through how to manage it better. But if it's there,
You're bored.
I'm bored. I'm like, all right, I got to make camp, got to eat, you know? And it's so, you know, maybe some other survival stuff that weighed me down a little bit, some extra things here and there, but freaking knife, some fire starter, enough food, and move on. I even given up water treatment.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
You
get sick, I
dysentery,
get sick.
You get dysentery, you get dysentery.
It's funny because in Alaska, we just drink out of the rivers
Oh,
and
yeah, 'cause
lake.
you're probably
And,
clean enough, right?
you know, so I get good at like what looks like good water
Yeah, if
and
it's
what.
flowing or
Yeah.
not flowing.
So those are some of the things.
Yeah, I mean, this year we went on a couple, more. We went one with a guide and one with the born and raised guys, and we were just in a tent. And yeah, I wore the same pair of pants for 5 days and didn't even think anything of it.
I'll carry socks, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
socks is good. Underwear maybe to change every once in a while.
Yeah, and it's funny once you get into the late season Alaska, like what we've learned or what I've learned from the guides that I've partnered with, and my partner Tim Winslow, is like you wear chest waders. That's what you wear.
Really?
You're gonna get wet,
Yeah.
so you might as just wear waders all the time.
Jeez.
So like you don't even bother like pulling out the hunting pants or like put on your rain gear. It doesn't need to be raining in Alaska. You walk through the bushes, you're wet. The
right.
alders are 10 feet tall. So like I get a nice pair of
Hiking
super
around it.
lightweight.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, lightweight stuff, not
Lightweight.
like the waterfowl
Okay.
with the big heavy
I
boots.
was like, holy crap.
You could get some nice Sims,
Okay.
lightweight waders, and you live in them.
Yeah.
But you know what? You get in your tent at the end of the
soupy there.
day, you're dry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been fun to see some of the like guides that have been in Alaska a while. They definitely like I'm picking up on their tricks,
Yeah.
and that was one of them. So I was like, of course I show up and my waders are brand new.
Brand new, yeah,
Theirs
you
look
look-
like they're 30 years old. I'm like ripping mine,
Yeah,
putting
making
duct
it
tape
look,
on.
look right. And yeah.
Yeah, so I don't look
Scuffing
like
them up
I
a
don't
little
look
bit.
like the Dingleberry
The
with
new-
all brand new stuff. That's the worst feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the guide we were talking to, I forgot what we were on. He's like, you can tell if your guides how good they are by how new or how old their stuff is.
There's like a rite of passage with an Alaskan guide, and I'm sure it applies to a lot of Western states. If you have a jacket and it doesn't have patches on it, you're not a good guide. If you meet a guide and you're like, dude can't afford a new jacket, he's got duct tape on the elbow, he's got one of those sticky patches.
You know you're in for
I'm
it.
like, oh yeah, that dude's legit.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not going to buy a new jacket. He's going to put a patch
up.
on it.
Yep.
So that's kind of like once you get to Alaska and you're walking around the airport, and then when you get into camp, you
That's
want
how
to be
you
with
know.
the guy that's got patches on
Patches.
his. Yeah.
Looking for a patch guy.
Yeah. It's funny. We do packers. So you have to come in a couple seasons early. If you want to become a guide, you have to be a packer, and we don't pay you. So we give you free room and board,
Right.
but you got to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
Man, it's like the best test. They're either they kill it,
Or they're
or like a week into it, we're like, yeah, dude, we got you a plane ticket. You're out
out
of
of
here.
here.
You can't wake up in the morning saying you're sick, don't want to go get water, don't want to get up early to make coffee for the client. You're like
Gone.
zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Like my partner, Tim Winslow, he's savage. He's a good person, makes one mistake. He's like, you're out. It's because up there,
Yeah, you make one mistake, you're dead.
can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Like you can't have someone who's going to be lackadaisical. So it's been good learning.
Heck yeah.
And I thought I knew a lot, and I think Alaska will show you kind of
I bet.
that extra level.
So you guys said you'll interview potential clients.
Yeah, we'll get on the phone with them and
Yeah.
really like,
What are you
kind
trying
of
to do?
shape?
Here? Yeah.
how much have you hunted before? Have you been to Alaska? And honestly, the biggest part of it, and maybe you guys can appreciate this, is like setting expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Once the client starts telling you he must kill a certain size animal, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
The best way to shoot a monster brown bear is to come up and not kill a brown bear for multiple years.
Yeah.
Because you passed smaller bears.
Right.
You shoot a bear on the first day, On
Doesn't
day
mean as
7,
much
you
either.
might have saw a monster.
Right.
So it takes a certain type of person to pass up a quality animal. There's a quality moose there. He's not a giant. You said you wanted to shoot a giant. So setting that expectation is difficult with some people,
Yeah.
because I think the industry markets like it's
Giant.
not successful if
Yeah.
it's not
if it's not a X.
I'm like, I don't know. Have you seen a 55-inch moose? It's pretty big.
Yeah, hell
Well,
yeah.
I need a 70. I'm like,
Whoa.
yeah, okay. They come along like once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
So when we're talking with them, we kind of like needle
Yeah.
to find out,
What they're
like what's their goals, and then the physical and mental part. And then a lot of times, especially with older gentlemen, this is like a bucket list for them.
yeah.
They don't want to tell you that they're like having health problems.
Yeah.
And so they show up in camp and you're like, hey man, everything all right? Well,
I got this.
I got a urinary tract infection. I got my knee drained last week. And we're like, cool. If you would have been honest with us, we maybe have thought about where we were putting you.
Yeah.
Because we picked the biggest mountain because you said you were ready to roll. So I think being honest,
yeah.
up front, and that's cool. Everybody doesn't have the same physical abilities,
No.
and we're fine with that.
Yeah. heck
Just
yeah.
tell us.
Just tell us. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
Talk us through, what are you looking for when you talk about the physical and mental? Like you're interviewing somebody. Like what are you looking for in them to say, okay, you're ready for this hunt?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like a jerk.
Do it.
Yeah. I look at the camera.
Well, it's like the truth, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I know
everybody that knows me is going to be like, what do you mean, Kip? You are a jerk.
You fit in fine here.
Yeah, no, here's the deal. Like when you meet someone at a trade show or through word of mouth, they call you and they start immediately telling you all the shit they've killed. Red fucking flag. Excuse my French. Red flag. And then you try to butt it, hey, cool. Everybody's excited. Everybody likes to share stories, and that's part of hunting. But there's a point where you kind of cross a line where you're like, okay, this dude's overcompensating. He's not actually as qualified as he's making himself out to be. Those people always turn out to be a problem.
Gotcha.
Hey, I was in Tanzania and I've shot this and I killed this and I've killed that and I've killed this and I've done this. And it's like, cool.
I didn't ask you any of those.
Yeah, like if you come to find out those things through conversation, but when they like really, that tells me they're a little bit stretching who they are, and we have to be careful. There's a thing in Alaska called wanton waste. If you shoot a bull moose and you don't take all effort to get that meat out and taken care of in a very short period of time, it's a felony offense. It's not a misdemeanor.
Good.
It's a felony.
Yeah.
And so that can also reflect poorly on the guide and the guiding outfit, my company and my partner, Tim. So we're picky. And if we start seeing some of those red flags, we'll dig in. So I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, heck yeah. Do you have guys show up and they're just physically not ready?
Yeah, let's think about this price point wise. You could buy a nice whitetail hunt, Illinois, maybe $5,000 to $7,000, and they're great hunts, right? You start getting into DIY moose, it's $15K. A full moose is $35,000, guided moose. A brown bear is $28,000. So those price points push it up into people that can afford it. Here's the deal, listeners. Money makes you soft.
Was it Biggie says more money, more problems? I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's somebody you can't talk about anymore.
Cam says he's going to send me a shirt that says soft and rich trying to be poor and hard. Money, I think guys that have done well have potentially let themselves go a little bit because they have a comfortable life and they can afford things. Got a hot tub, they got a pool, they probably got a weight room they don't use, they got a theater thing in their house. Like, cool. Like a theater thing in your house? Well, cool. You better have a gym that's you're grinding
Next
in.
door, yeah.
So I think the price point pushes it up there for people that can afford it, and we get guys that show up a lot that aren't ready. A couple of them will come back. They're like, I totally
bombed the last one.
and I want to come back, and they get fit.
That's cool.
Good buddy of mine shot a monster bear just a week ago. His name's CJ Miller. He owns a big excavating company in Maryland. He's a really great guy. He lost 30 pounds. He did it the right way. He listened.
Yeah.
He got ready for the hunt.
Heck yeah.
So I know that you guys have a pretty cool app
Yeah.
and can help hunters. If you're going to book a big game hunt of any kind,
Find a
get on the
personal
app.
trainer or
yeah,
an app or
get
something.
after it.
Yeah, so pretty
It's going to make the hunt better.
pretty cool story. My uncle, influential, I would say, in my, like, when I was a kid, he terrified us all. Now I know him. He's awesome. But what he does to get ready to go out west is he lives in Michigan, and he's 65 now, and he's been going out elk hunting, killed a bunch of cows. We're going to take him on a bull hunt this year. But he'll go climb the grain silos.
There you go.
And just he'll
Pound
start
away.
out climbing, 3 or 4 times a day, and by the time he's going out to usually he hunts Wyoming, he'll climb them 10, 15 times. And so, let's just get it done, man. Like I think people are so scared just to get started, right? And so, where do I even go? We talk about the app. We talk about with what we're doing with Mayhem Hunt, but man, it's just getting started, doing something.
Yeah, we
Go
do
out
the
and
same
put
thing.
a ruck on.
Yeah, so
go walk.
we tell them walk.
Walk.
Start, and then don't start with 50 pounds, 60 pounds. Just go out and
Ease
walk.
into it. Do something.
And
Do
then
some
if you
bodyweight
can
stuff.
progress and then you start getting into the app and you start pushing yourself a little bit more, you get a personal trainer, there's nothing bad that's going to come of getting in shape for a hunt. So we do get a bunch of guys that take it serious. I would say I wish it was more. I think there's a part of the industry that's like, I want to show up, I want to shoot my thing, and I want to get out of here, and I want to check the box. And Alaska's just not the
Not that
place
way.
to check the box.
Not that way.
Right when you think you're going to, even for guides, like you think you're going to get out unscathed, the weather and the landscape will
I've heard
beat you down.
the landscape, not only mountains, but just how soft the ground is.
Walking on a fat lady's stomach.
Walking on a fat lady's stomach.
Yep, that's
Waterbed,
what it is.
huh?
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh gosh,
One
it's like soft
step's like
sand,
10.
similar to soft sand.
Oh, well,
Worse.
if it's quicksand,
Yeah,
yeah, the tundra is an odd living organism. It's a huge sponge.
yeah. What
You
is
can't
that?
get away from the water.
Hips, knees. What does that attacks the most? Really, you think?
Man, I think picking up your quad,
Quad,
just that extra
up
lift
and
up.
over, just that little extra hip.
Yeah, I would
makes
say
sense.
hips and quads. It
Yeah,
really,
that flexor, hip
yeah.
flexor a little bit.
it's you kind of always like you train hard for it, and then that first day you're getting in the 10, you're like, okay, yeah,
All right.
you can't train for the tundra.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
you
mean-
add weight to it,
and then yep.
you're sinking more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We always, when we go out west, we've done a lot of things at altitude.
it's good hard ground though.
Oh yeah, exactly. But that first day, you just got to get that little kick in the teeth, let you know, hey, I'm
That's
back.
one thing we don't have. I mean, I think we can get up to maybe 4,500 feet. We're closer to the coast.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So,
but not terrible.
but most of our hunts are below 2,000.
Yeah.
So we don't have a tremendous amount of like altitude sickness.
Right.
And for some older folks, like if we were at 10,000
Oh
feet,
yeah, then you get really
Yeah.
messed up.
and we have some sheep hunts that are tough, and we are very picky about selling those, and we're picky about who we take on them.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So I think the Alaska is, I almost want people to come and fish and hang out before they come hunt.
Yeah.
Cause you just get a feel.
Feel how rough it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's
Yeah,
the
it's
last
just-
frontier, really. you
Yeah.
know?
And also getting comfortable with the remoteness.
Yeah. Now, I've seen you do some cold plunge stuff in the lake out there, or
It is, man. That lake, I don't think all year it gets over 44,
is that an
45.
every morning thing when you're there? Or?
Yeah, try to.
Yeah.
I've been doing it lately, and because the light, it stays light for so
okay.
long. So
Yeah.
I actually
Help you fall
stopped doing it in the morning, and I
Yeah.
do it like 3:00.
Yeah.
Because we don't go to bed until 1. So I need that extra burst.
Yeah. Give you a little rejuvenation for that.
The lake is ridiculous. I don't know what it is about like a live body of water.
Yeah.
I think some of these cold plunges can get pretty cold, but
Yeah.
I just do the ice in the tub.
Well, yeah, I think, if the water's not circulating, it's way different. So like a lake, it circulates a little bit, right?
Yeah, oh
And
yeah, the
so,
wind. Yeah,
it's
so
just awful.
is that something you guys do?
Yeah,
with
so
it?
I was in a cold. I did cold a lot, and then my plunge here actually went down. Last year we had 7 or 8 days of freezing, and I just kept it running, and it burst the pipes. But I've got another one coming, and then we've gotten into the sauna a little bit more as of late, and man, that sucks too.
we have a sauna in Alaska. The guides love it.
The sauna, it's a little less daunting than the cold. The cold.
Have you done the back and
Not
forth
yet. So Scott's big on the contrast. Scott can speak more to that. Looking forward to getting the cold plunge back here so we can Sisu, the sauna that we have, is working on.
Hunting season is coming fast. You've glassed the ridges, hung stands, and marked your maps. Now it's time to make sure your gear is as ready as you are. From proven base layers to best-selling outerwear, First Light season opener sale is here for a limited time with savings up to 40% off. It's our biggest sale of the year. So whether you're chasing bugles in the high country or settling into a stand for opening night, now's the time to dial in your system. No shortcuts, no compromises, just the gear that gets it done. Shop the season opener sale at firstlight.com. That's FIRSTLITE.com.
NFL guy Brian Peters and I were going to put together a like wellness and mental retreat in Alaska.
Oh, nice.
He's an ex-NFL guy.
Okay.
You should have him on the podcast. He's like for deregulating stress and like helping top performing athletes and implementing the cold and
hot
and hot. He's really dedicated himself to it. He's a savage.
That's cool.
And he builds his own saunas and gets into like the burnt wood on the inside. And I'm like, hey man, you need to make me one of those. It's pretty cool. I don't have one. I've been into it, but I've been dabbling around. Man, I'm a cheap dude. I don't want to drop the
it's like
price point. I'm like, okay, it's pricey. I can understand. I'm like, I kind of want the ones that are just the tent that zip up. They're like $1,500
bucks. Those. He was trying to cut weight for a wrestling meet. They were doing on the beach. We do this CrossFit competition on the beach. And Preston hadn't wrestled in 5 or 10 years, and he wanted to cut weight for this beach wrestling thing. And I walked out of there,
a little too serious,
and he's just sitting there, and like his head's popped out of this.
Oh, he's
sauna.
The one with the head out. Now, that's bizarre. I was awesome. Going to go with the one that was the full tent.
No, this was like the little tent one with his head's popping out. He's just sitting out there, and you got to know my cousin Preston. He's an interesting cat, but
that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's like that's like that movie Dune where that guy comes out floating from the thing in his head. Yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, it's fun is I've watched you over the years, and I know you went and did Cam's podcast, and I asked Cam like, how's it going? I was like, oh, dude, he's a savage, and I was like, are you going to invite him on an elk hunt? Because Cam and elk hunting, and so you need to bug him.
I need to keep prodding him a little. I don't want to you don't want to get too annoying with him. I'm like, hey man,
you want to talk about
here.
Elk spots?
Oh, I can't. I can't imagine.
He kills like 9 bulls a year.
Dude, we were in his garage, and everything. It looked like he went out here and shot one of my horses and put antlers on it. When I've got this, I went back home and I'm looking at my bull, and I'm like, wow, yeah, you were tiny. Like these ones. They were in the one that he shot. It would have been at
the San Carlos.
San Carlos that year. I'm telling you, we have a horse. We have a quarter horse named Poncho here. That's what it looked like. It lopped off Poncho's head and put antlers on him.
Oh yeah, I hunted with him for many years at that place. I'm not hunting it anymore, but he still goes there. I mean, I know you start seeing elk and you're like, oh, 320, 350. Is it a 370? You're like, oh my God, he's a monster. He's 370, he's 380. You're seeing 400-inch bulls all the time there.
It would ruin me, I think.
It did ruin me.
Yeah.
And that's why I landed on this place in New Mexico, because it's like a good in-betweener. But yeah, he's killed some bulls, and I've been on. He climbed up a tree one time.
This year, I think it was this year.
He climbed up a tree and shot a bull.
Yeah.
And it's not a tree stand.
No.
There wasn't anything up there.
No.
And I was like, why did you do that? And he was like, I don't know.
It's the best way to get to it.
Yeah,
man.
I was like,
got to do what you got to do.
He's nuts. But if you want a honey hole, he's got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Elk hunting it can be addicting.
Yeah, we're in that for sure. So, fitness wise for you, you talked a little bit. You like to you go to F45. You have kind of a bodybuilding gym.
Yep.
What do you do to stay fit?
Yeah, I try to change it up. Just try to do a bunch of different stuff. Mm-hmm. I would say the F45 class is nice because, like I told you,
just check out.
Yeah, don't have to think. Hardcore cardio, not a ton of power, but sometimes you're pushing a sled and stuff like that. Recently I've kind of adopted, and this would be curious to get your feedback. I kind of read some stuff. I'm getting up there. I'm 50 plus, And
which I wouldn't have guessed when you walked in, by the way.
I was like a little bit more concerned about like heart health,
Yep.
longevity, starting to think about my kids and what I can do when I'm older. So I adopted this workout with a Norwegian 4x4. Have you done this?
4 minutes on, 4 minutes off.
Yeah.
I've heard
It's legit
I've
hard.
heard about it. Yeah, I mean,
it's the same thing you're doing.
yeah, we
It's
do
just-
a ton
it's
of
just-
intervals like that.
Yeah, it's interval training.
Equal rest, basically.
And
but
there's
yeah.
like a lot of good scientific
four
studies.
by four sets of 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off.
So you warm up 5-minute jog.
Okay.
Then you go 80% of max for 4 minutes.
Okay.
Then you walk for 3 minutes.
Okay. 4.
4 minute, 3, 4, 3. So you do that
okay.
4 times.
Gotcha.
And then you end with a 5-minute jog. And it takes about 35 minutes and you're on the treadmill.
Yep.
And your 80% of max can be different for everybody.
Depending on your
and I've
age,
slowly
depending on
gotten
your
up.
training. Yeah.
And then I go right over, I do some pull-ups and sled pushes, but I really anchor the workout around that.
Yep.
And there's like a bunch of, if you do it twice a week for 2 years, you could almost reduce your heart health by 20 years. It's crazy. That's
awesome.
It's VO2 max.
Yeah, VO2 max stuff.
It's basically
Yeah, I've
what
seen
it is.
some stuff. I haven't dove into it.
I mean, you're already doing it with
we're doing
everything
a
you
lot
do
of stuff
anyway,
we
but
do,
I
yeah.
wasn't doing that type of stuff. And
I just high heart
I'm
rate stuff.
I'm
man.
enjoying it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, we talked about high rocks and all this stuff, man. I just like that people like to work out. I don't care what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Like as long as people are moving and working out, that's my big thing. And so that's what I always encourage people. Do something that you're going to stick with. I mean, you do need to get out of breath. I think getting out of breath.
We did that today.
Yeah, we did that a couple times today.
You weren't out of breath. I was out of breath.
I was out of breath. Yeah, we just got off that 24-hour mountain bike, so my legs were.
I was kind of like excited too. Yeah. I was like, saw you on Instagram. I was like, oh, cool. He just did a big race. I don't think he's going to bury me.
No, man. And that's what I try to tell people when we come here. You don't have to just do what you can do. We'll just have fun. I mean, I just enjoy working out. Like that's just what I do. Obviously, it's what I've done for.
No, it's
15,
impressive, man. It's
and
good to get excited about something. It's healthy. For me, I've been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
I just have to change.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do this for a bit.
Yep.
And then
you'd fit in well.
I'll try to find something different.
Yeah.
I will say as I get older, I have noticed that little bit of dip in strength.
Yeah.
I used to be pretty strong. I used to like hardcore bench and, rock out lots of pull-ups, and I hit that 50 and man, like that little edge. So I'm a little concerned, like maybe I need to do a little bit more power, but
Man.
I don't think I can't. I'm doing good, but I don't think you can keep it forever.
You can't, man. I think it's that's something I've had to come to terms with. I'll be 38 this year, which is not that old, but compared to what I was lifting when I was 25 and 24, I mean, the Olympic lifts, and I'm nowhere near where I was. But you just have to meet with where you're at that point, and I kind of said that on the Instagram post that I made about this race is, fitness is different for me now. My goals are different. I'm not trying to be the fittest on earth. I'm trying to be as fit as I can. I'm trying to do hard shit. I'm trying to inspire my kids to be fit. And then, I want to be ready to go out west and elk hunt. And so,
the same with me.
Those are kind of my goals. So I need to check in every once in a while, make sure I'm not getting soft. So we do that 24-hour mountain bike. We do a 24-hour row, usually around Christmas. And then, I need something to kind of scratch that itch of competition. So I'll do a couple CrossFit competitions for fun with partners or teammates. And then, man, I just love being out west and being ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game. I think what people get caught up is they try to start measuring themselves against other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, my fitness journey has not always been the best. I try pretty hard. I've never really cared what other people were doing.
Yeah.
I really just focused on myself. And I think a lot of people start comparing themselves. They get a little bit of body dysmorphia, and they're really focused on, well, this guy looks like that. I don't look like this. And I think some of it can be healthy because it can drive you, but then the bunch of it is unhealthy. For me, I've never really gave a shit.
Yeah.
I'm best friends with Cam. I'm like, cool, Cam runs. I don't.
A lot.
Yeah, great.
and really well.
You're a runner.
Heck
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't need to go try to run. But at the end of the day, you gotta pick a few things that test yourself along the way.
Yeah,
so.
I think the mental test, and that's, what we do is, we compete. And so for years, that was it, but my goal was to be the fittest on earth. So it's been hard to detach from that, right? Where I'm like, dude, you're 38 years old. You got no,
You're doing all right,
You got
dude.
no cartilage left in
Let
your knee.
you're good. You'll get by the time you're my age, they will have like robot knees.
I sure
You'll be
hope
good.
that's the one thing that is
You know, what's
the
funny
main
is
bother.
I played lacrosse, pro lacrosse for a good bit of years. And, you know, to see competition translate into hunting, I think it's
the ultimate
if I didn't
competition,
have
man.
hunting, I'm not
No.
quite sure what I've been able to transition. So I was pretty hardcore. I love lacrosse. I was competing at the highest level. We lost in the national championship in college, and then I went into pro. And then when I stopped that, like I went hardcore into hunting. And honestly, I'm kind of
Seamless
would get
almost,
off the path a little bit if I didn't.
For sure.
Because I think, you know, not everybody has to play, you know, sports, but
There's a lot to be learned playing sports, though.
You gotta learn to compete. This world is
Competition.
competition.
Everything. Well, it started out.
Only
That's-
the strong survive.
That's what we were saying. That's what I've said. You know, I think the connection that I've had with hunting is it was the first competition. Like it's the first competition that was ever on the planet. You had to beat that
You gonna
animal
eat or not?
exactly.
Or is that
And
other tribe gonna eat?
And so I feel like that's the connection that I've kind of made and the obsession and how it's all transferred over into hunting. That is like, it's a competition that everything that I've done, it's when I fail, it's super public and people see it and you're a jackass, right? But in hunting, when you fail, you're kind of like, oh, I messed that up. Now I can move on to the next thing. You know, you're going to fail. It's going to happen, right?
It's inevitable.
You know, like
lose a deer.
Yep.
Bad shot on an elk.
Yep.
Blow out a bunch of animals. You didn't read the wind right.
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting is like when you talk about like that connection to like we've been competing to hunting food. I wonder if like some of us have genes for hunting and gathering, and then there's a bunch of people that we provided the food for that don't have the gene.
And they don't understand the gene.
And they don't understand the gene. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a DNA guy, but I'm like, some people just don't get it. They're not interested. And I truly think that like 10,000 years, they weren't required to do it.
Or their ancestors or something weren't.
Yeah. So
They tell me on Instagram that they weren't. That's for sure.
don't get started with the haters. We'll have to
No, I
get-
love
have
it.
to
It
get
doesn't
candid.
bother me whatsoever. My wife at times gets upset with how much I lean into it, you know?
You
She's like,
guys
it
are
doesn't
crazy.
bother you? And I'm like, no, hell no, it doesn't bother me. I enjoy it.
You gotta have thick skin today.
Yeah.
You got as many followers as you guys have, and you specifically, and Cam. He's the hater thing is like it's fuel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It cracks me up.
Prove
at some
everybody
point.
wrong.
Man, people are they want you to screw up and want you to fail.
You give them a microphone, but no face. That's what I tell everybody.
That's it. You get to hide behind something
Yep.
and, you know,
It's kind of childish if you think about
it
it.
blows my mind. That
For everybody that's listening, if you're one of those people, you're a loser.
you're a loser.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. My thing, you know, our big thing, and I've said it multiple times, is if you're a vegan or vegetarian, I don't necessarily agree with you, but I could get where it would offend you that people
maybe,
post hunting, but whatever. But the people that eat meat and are against hunting, that blows my mind.
Oh, they like to torture animals that are in,
Exactly.
that are in quarantine.
In quarantine
Yeah.
or in, you know, on a lot that, you know, don't see.
My thing was like use the vegetarian or the vegan. It's like cool. Do that.
Do that. I don't
Like,
care. I'm not going to go over there and
but
bother you.
I don't come over and
Uh-uh.
bug you about your habits. Why are you coming over here and like you're allowed to select what you look at?
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to watch NASCAR, turn the
Turn it off.
station.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I hate NASCAR. Why are you watching it?
Why are
That's
you
what-
vocal about it?
Yeah,
Who
like
cares?
so I get really confused. Like if that's what you choose to do, then obsess about it and go do it. Why are you choosing to spend your time looking at things you're not interested
don't
in
want.
and picking on people? It's
Yep.
like, I really don't. Maybe we should start a group that's like haters against vegetarians. Like, and we just go
Let's
after
find
them.
Let's go find them.
We just start posting. We come up with fake names, and so that's my whole thing. Is like, if you don't like it, turn the channel
Go somewhere else or don't follow or
Yeah.
unfollow. You're going to tell me.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
for sure.
What else you got? What else you want to know?
You got to have something amazing with that question. Come on.
Oh man. I would just say, what is it for you backcountry hunting? You go out to Alaska a lot. Like just the recalibration. You're in multiple businesses. You know what I mean? Just getting away. What's it mean to you to just get away and just kind of recalibrate break apart, break away from everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good question, and it dances around something that I just experienced. So like I co-founded Under Armour. People could say that was a big success. I've been involved with some other things that you could say was success. I have never felt successful, ever, once, until about 2 weeks ago. And I was sitting at...
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Sitting in Alaska, overlooking the mountains, looking at my team move a bunch of hunters in and out. We just had a bear hunter come in. It was a really cool outfit. It's close to my heart. It's where I want to be. It's outdoors at its best. And I was like, man, Kip, you've done something with your life. First time ever I've said that to myself in my brain. Why all that time have I never felt successful? Is because I think when you put yourself in an environment that's closest to who you want to be, it unlocks things that you otherwise. I'm not corporate. I don't like cities. I don't want to run a rat race. I'm pretty smart, but I don't need to like prove my smarts in business anymore. But I felt like for many, many years I had to. And I think it just unlocked something that I had never felt before. So when you talk about like that decompression, like all this stuff we put in our lives, man, it's like, step back and look at it. It's not that important. Like all this, like, oh, I need a new truck and I need this extra rain gear. And oh my God, I got to have this for the kids and they got to go to this new camp. And when you put yourself in remote situations, you realize the meaning of life is to live. It's not to collect things. It's not to validate yourself with what other people think of you. And literally, I had never felt successful before. It was wild. And I told some people that are close to me, and I was just on another podcast with a kid that started a podcast, and he asked me that same question. I was like, I'm telling you, I'm not lying, dude. I've never felt successful in my life. I felt successful in that moment because I think I was closest to outdoors, and I was closest to that, like, exhale, really who I want to be, how I want to show up. And I think I'm a better person, and I also treat people better. Like, I've learned to be better person when I'm in the outdoors, which is wild.
Yeah.
Like why, so I don't know if that danced around it a little bit, but I think, you guys have experienced moments in your 100%. Life. You gotta figure out, outdoors isn't for everybody. You got to figure out in life what recharges you. What is it, the thing that gives you like energy?
Life, yeah.
And then what takes away? Mm-hmm. Like what drains you? And I think for a lot of years, I actually did things over and over and over and over again that drained me. I sat in corporate. I mean, we were a public company sitting in boardrooms with, it was tough. I don't want to go down that road, but you can imagine.
I can't imagine because I've got about usually 30 minutes in a meeting before I start derailing it. It's just not a good.
No, dude, 30 minutes. We're talking days. We're meetings after meeting. We have these corporate offsites that you just like grind out. Like, how are we gonna make more money? How do we get more profit? How do we grow this category?
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
So
No, that's good. And
I don't know. I hope that was helpful.
It does. And I mean, everybody believes something different. But so I worked at a church for 20 years. And I met with a lot of college kids, and they would just be searching for what they should do with their life. What am I being called to? And I finally came up with the answer of it. For everybody, there are different parts, but for most people, God wants you to be the person who He's called you to be, and a lot of that is built upon the environment you're in. So just like with you, that environment helps you be that person, and because environments make us, so like I wouldn't be who I am today if I wasn't on staff at that church for 20 years. You know what I mean? So that's where I needed to be at that time. However, I'm not anymore because I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, I've said this to a few people, and I think what you said is really, really powerful. I've said this analogy, and I use this in a descriptive way because it makes a point. Take a rag, put it in gasoline. Take the rag out, wring it out, put it on your front porch. Go smell that rag a week later. What does it smell like? Gasoline. A month later, gasoline. Even a year later, you put that thing up, you're like, God damn, this thing rag. Maybe I should wash this thing. You are the environment. You cannot get rid of the environment you're in. Even if you give it time, it still hangs
Still
on.
be part of it.
There's a rule in criminal justice. Every time two objects touch, they transfer something. That's like a tool mark on a door or a fiber from a sweater on a crime scene. Every time two things touch. So that environment that you're describing, like it or not, whether it's toxic people, whether it's you're in the church or whether you're in the outdoors, something's going to transfer. So be really picky about where you put yourself. And I think I was really good at certain things at Under Armour, but also that was really against the nature of who I was.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's funny, I'll be very honest. I made a lot of bad decisions at the end of my career. And I think that I was self-sabotaging because I didn't see myself in that environment anymore. Mm-hmm. And I got to take ownership that I wasn't brave enough to remove myself maybe in a more healthy way. Mm-hmm. And I think the outdoors is a lot of kids and young adults today are spending a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
And I think the outdoors is, I think the church and I think the outdoors can play a huge role.
Huge role.
Huge role.
Now,
sorry to get a little deep there.
No, it's a good segue with the boys. You've got two boys. Are they into the outdoors?
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Sports in school,
Yep.
a lot of time here and there. They hunt. They love to hunt.
Okay.
They've, multiple white-tailed deer.
Heck yeah.
My one son, Ryder, is a little bit more into it. Just went on his first elk hunt last year. Right. He was, 15, running around the mountains. He was like, oh my God.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really, he did a great job. I was super proud of him. They're not fanatical about it, but they like hunting season.
Heck yeah.
And they know that it's super important to me. And honestly, without even asking them, they know it's going to be a part of their life.
Yeah, for sure.
And, when you ask my son, Truett, I ask him, well, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to shoot a bear. I'm like, you're 12. What are you talking about? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I always wanted a bear. I'm like,
always wanted one.
Like, all right, okay. So
that's awesome.
They're not super hardcore, but.
No, but I think they see dad. They want to be a part of that. And it's something, man, I'm trying with the kids and all of them are pretty into it for the most part. We've only been able to really do whitetail. But yeah, Trice will come out there. I've killed a couple with Trice actually being there. The one I kicked myself, Lakeland, my oldest was with us, and I had a doe tag, but it was during the rut, and I let her walk. I should have just taken her because she still talks. She's like, oh, I remember that time we saw that deer, and I'm just like, I blew it.
Maybe not. Maybe it'll make the next one more meaningful. What I've taken with my kids is I hunt a lot, and I'm hunting more for them around the farm than me.
Yep. I
always ask them, you want to go hunt tonight? Mm-hmm. You want to get up early and hunt? And they say no, I don't force them.
Right. Nope.
If they say yes, then I hold them to the yes.
Yeah, me too.
But when we go out, if they want to leave, we leave.
Oh, okay.
Hey man, we're here. I'm freezing, Dad. No, you got to stay.
No, you got to stay.
Stay.
It makes it miserable.
Because I don't want to insert any of my grit and determination on them. They know what grit is. Mm-hmm. And so there's been a couple times, hey, I'm cold, I want to go in. We go in. Cool. There's also been a couple times where it's bad out. And they're like, I'm like, you good? And they're like, yeah, let's stay. Right. And I didn't have to say anything. Yeah. And I was actually more proud of that than me being like, hey, we're staying another hour. It's almost dark. Let's just stay. Yeah. So, everybody's kids are different. And I'm not saying my technique is the right technique, but I don't want them to feel like they have to do it for me. Mm-hmm. And I know that some dads and moms are like, oh, I want my kid to be a hunter. And I'm like,
you can't force it.
You can't force everything.
No.
There's a fine line there.
I mean,
make it enjoyable.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, fun is fun.
I mean, it's the same way I've done with my kids with working out. I'm like, hey, you guys want to go downstairs? I'm working out. Or you want to go out to the barn? And they're like, yeah. Or they're like, no. And even when they come out here, you saw Violet. She's hanging around awesome. Whatever. I've never been like, hey, you're going to do this workout. And then we did a little competition, a parent, we were talking about earlier, parent and kid competition, man. It was awesome because now Trice is like, I want to work out. And Dad,
light switch went off.
It was cool. So
I think it's the environment you're talking about. And there's a way to put people in an environment and the environment becomes toxic, even though your intention was good.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's work out. That's a good thing.
That's it. Yep.
Well, the way you went about it was toxic. And we all know those dads and moms that are at the soccer field doing stuff, yelling, screaming.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it unenjoyable.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, the brain development, like with kids, like once you get into 16, 17, 18, you can do a lot more things. But when you're in that 10 to 14,
no way.
There is no replacing fun. And they also really attach themselves specifically to dads because dads can be kind of hardcore. You have to show yourself as being a fun person. Mm-hmm. There's all these studies about how healthy kids had dads that could laugh, could have fun. And so I think your point on the environment you're in, I think it applies to all that. But they're into it. I mean, they get a little competition. They're like, oh, I shot a 6-pointer. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, mine had actually 7, but it was broken. Yeah, so they're into it. I'm really excited if my son gets an elk.
Oh yeah. That would be awesome.
I might cry like a baby.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want for my kids is us be able to do that together. Be able to share it and carry on that.
Now I know you're into like dirt bikes and 4-wheeler stuff. Are the kids into that as well?
So I grew up with 4-wheelers and dirt bikes. The kids, man, they don't take care of shit. So we haven't really bought them. Much
good.
So they got mountain bikes, and so they'll we've got some trails out here that they'll ride on. Trice was pissed yesterday because it was too hot. I think it's super important to get them out and doing those things. And but until they can take care of that, we bought them some cheap Amazon like electric go-karts for Christmas, and they're already trashed. And I'm like, no, until you guys can show me you can take care of this.
Yeah, that's good.
But at least they get to do some of that stuff. But I think,
Isn't it wild what we grew up with versus what goes on today?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even in a short period of time.
Dude, crazy.
I mean, I can't believe I'm alive. Falling through lakes on the ice.
Just go, go. And I'd be out on a 4-wheeler. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I almost broke my neck. I remember specifically, my dad got me a new helmet for my 12th or 13th birthday. That day, I was coming over a little hill. Shouldn't have been on the road. I was on a road with a 4-wheeler. The road goes like this and cuts hard left, and there was no sign telling you it cut left. Straight off the road. Landed on my head. I skid for probably 50 feet. Busted this helmet all up. And I tried to hide it from Dad for a while. Never works.
We had 3-wheelers.
Oh, 3-wheelers.
They were way more
death
dangerous.
trap.
Death trap.
That's kind of like the
they
retro
cool
thing now is to find those old ones. I know the guys at Montana Knife Company, like there's a couple guys that drive them to work. And it's like the new Harley. It's like, oh, look at my 3-wheeler. I'm like, come on, dude. It's a 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
Is it Honda's?
Honda Big Red.
Honda 3-wheeler.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
Death trap, man.
Death trap, man. Yeah. My kids, I'm like, man, look at all this barbed wire out here. They could run right through it. Rory's sitting over there, and he ran right through it, too.
Remote Alaska is really cool to see, these fishing villages. I've been to a bunch of them. Iliamna is where our lodge is. 4-wheelers are life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's life. These kids, I mean, they're like 4 or 5 years old. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but they're just ripping around on 4-wheelers all the time. Yeah. It's their, they get great gas mileage. Yeah. They can kind of go anywhere. The roads are kind of crappy.
Might as well.
It's pretty funny when you just see these. Awesome. And I'm looking at my kids that are 13 and 15. They couldn't even drive a 4-wheeler to save their life. And then you got kids that are like hammering. 8 years old ripping it in remote Alaska.
My oldest is every day. Can I go drive the Ranger? And I'm like, me and you will go drive the. And so she's gotten to where, man. She's gotten to where she can drive that thing and knows exactly what to do.
So how many kids?
3.
Okay.
11. Well, she'll be 11, 8, and 7.
Yeah, so. That's good.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
Being a dad's
the best. It's the best.
It's a tough job.
Hardest job ever, but it's the best, most rewarding job for sure. All right, one takeaway. What do you got? Something people could do.
Well, I mean, I think going back to your analogy in the environment is really one thing you can do in your life is just check yourself. Like, are you in the right environment? Mm-hmm. I think that I'm super happy you brought it up. I just had this like experience in my life, and I think it was because the environment I was in. And I think a lot of times people put up with stuff they shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to change. Like if it's not working, change.
Change it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, what do they say? You're the 5 people that you hang around with, which is, I mean, it's accurate, you know?
Yeah, I have a tough time getting to 5. Like, I get to
You're
Cam,
50
that's 1.
You're 54, man. Once you get that old, it's tough to.
Yeah.
You start self-selecting with age
Oh, yeah.
real quick,
Yo.
you know? Someone shows up with like bad shoes on, you're like, I hate that dude. I'm never talking to that guy again.
don't
Like
like
just
him.
looking for a reason
Yep,
not to have to
yep, I don't
text
wanna-
somebody back. No,
That's so true.
I super appreciate you guys having me on, and it's cool to
Appreciate
see
you
what
coming
you
out.
guys are doing too.
Heck yeah,
So
man.
thank you.
Come back anytime. I don't know what we offer, but you can come hang out anytime.
Clearly a good workout.
Good fitness. Hey, we can
Yeah.
fit. That's one thing
I
we
would
can do is
be
fitness.
shredded
There you go.
if I did a couple podcasts a year.
There we
with
go.
you.
Come on, man. We'll have you back for sure. Yeah, we can't offer a grizzly. I can offer you like a little shitty whitetail. That was killed on Pfeiffer Mountain. That was the first whitetail buck I ever killed,
he's
dude.
savage.
I mean,
You look
like-
at him and you're like, okay, he's a dink, and you're like, wait a minute, he's got extra points. Look
And
at
he's
that.
busted. We got in a fight. you
Oh
know,
yeah, he's
like,
tough.
dude.
Yeah,
that was my
that-
first ever whitetail buck
That is
last
legit.
year.
That is
So,
legit.
hey,
That's the first one,
yeah, heck yeah.
dude. That thing.
I was happy with him. You know, like I'm not. Once again,
2 years ago. It's been 2 years.
oh,
now.
sorry, it was 2 years. My last whitetail
Oh
year
man,
was
that
not
thing's
good.
legit.
Yeah,
He's got
so-
the back broken.
Yeah, it was cool. I killed him on the mountain.
Had you seen him before?
Never, dude. I'd never even seen a whitetail buck in the wild.
You didn't put any trail cameras out?
Not 2
Man,
years ago.
someone's gonna
man.
sponsor you. Someone's gonna send you like
I know.
1,000
We've gotten
trail
there.
cameras.
We've gotten there.
We've gotten there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that was the first one. He was killed on Pfeiffer Mountain. You know, so
And now is that the arrow?
no, it was
Oh,
a
okay.
rifle. I killed him with 6.5.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was rifle season.
Poor dude just got a 6.5 Creedmoor. Just
right
like a
through him.
little.
Hey, he folded right up. He did no track job. Funny story. My buddy
That's the
Matt.
best.
It was on his property. He shot one this year, and it fell down in a sinkhole. And I called him.
A sinkhole?
I'll show you the video in a second.
This is what goes on in Tennessee.
This goes on in Tennessee. So I called him. I'm like, because we were going to do a mountain bike race. I said, "You kill anything this morning?" He goes, "Yeah, I killed something." He goes, "You remember that sinkhole we weren't allowed to go into as kids?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "He fell in there." I'm like, "Bullshit." I was like, "You just didn't shoot anything. You're lying." He's like, "I swear." So I call him on his bluff the next day. I'm like, "All right." We talked to this guy, and he gives us rappelling equipment.
Oh my God.
And we were firefighters 15 years ago. Went to
Okay,
a class
so-
one day. So,
Yeah.
we're going to rappel down into the sinkhole. Sure enough, that thing was in the bottom of that sinkhole.
And you got it.
And we got him out. I'll show you the videos. Yeah.
That's
Heck
classic.
yeah, it was awesome. I'm like, shit, how does this? He's like, remember, when you want to slow down, bring it to your hip. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I don't think I would have remembered that. I
No,
think my
no.
dad did that with me when I was like 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we just went down in this hole. I was the first. We've never been in this hole.
I've found some deer in some funny spots. The best are when you like pound it, like miles and miles, gritting out.
Looking for
Okay,
'em. Yep.
everybody look. And he's literally like behind the tree stand you shot him
shot him from.
I really think because your heart is pumping
Oh, yeah, you
so
don't know
much,
where he
you
went.
imagine things like, oh, I saw him. He went this way. He didn't go that way.
No.
He literally turned around and like died behind my tree stand. And my buddy, he was like, hey, like I think I left my camera back at your
And
tree
sure
stand.
enough, he's right
and
there.
he went back there and he said he saw a hoof behind the tree. And literally the
was
tree
right
that we
there.
were looking for like days was behind the tree I shot it from.
Maybe we should have checked that tree.
So the sinkhole would have been a lot better than
Sinkhole.
behind the tree.
Sinkhole. I'll show you that video. It's pretty cool.
Well, thank you, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Hey, it's the Meat Eater Buy a Tee, Get a Tee sale. Plus, you can save on all kinds of gear from August 19th to 24th. For a limited time, buy one Meat Eater graphic tee, get another one free. While you're over there, you can load up and save on gear we trust in the field, including Yeti coolers and drinkware, Moultrie trail cams, premium optics, knives from Montana Knife Company, and more. The season opener sale runs now through August 24th, only at store.themeateater.com.
This is an iHeart podcast.